the true Hebrew Israelites? That in 1948, that's what's God gathering his people and making Israel a nation again? Because no, that ain't going to happen until the end of days when he gathers his people from the four corners of the earth. We're coming in and makes a multitude. Majority of them, they're all white. We got a problem here now. We got a problem. Because you change the people, you most certainly change the message. You change all the prophecy. You change all the prophecy. That's like when people try to interpret Daniel and all these things. They fall off in 1948. Because you put them as the people of the book, such as the Christians put those Jews as the people of the book, as the ancient Israelites. I mean, they're calling Abraham a Jew for crying out loud. Oh, but so hey, I'm going to cut this short. It's just interesting. I don't expect you all to hear me anyway. But you Israelites out there, you be very careful when you have a man in front of you that won't address who the true Hebrew Israelites are. They're up to something. And you know that those people over there in that land of Jerusalem right now, that's the synagogue of Satan being trodden down by the Gentiles. See, you got to know the book. And you change the people, you're changing all perspective and prophecy. And anybody that's supporting those people over there as the people of the book, you watch out, because they're supporting the devil. And that's just the truth. And you go and mock and cheer, and you won't sit there and you won't answer the question, who are the true Hebrew Israelites then? You little panel out there that sit there and make these videos. The Bible is all about nations. So maybe that's where your heart's wicked and wrong. See, you just ain't being taught right. You avoid these things, and it's what you won't say that's going to condemn you. You need to know who the true Hebrew Israelites are. You need to go and study. I don't need to make this go 40 more minutes trying to teach you who the true Hebrew Israelites are. There's enough messages and teachings out there on it. And if you go read your Bible, you'll clearly know who they are. You can't hide a white Jesus in Egypt and expect him to blend right in. You ain't going to happen. You ain't going to mistake Paul for an Egyptian if Paul's a white person. You ain't going to have Moses be able to walk right, or be carried right into the house of Pharaoh and pass as one of his sons if he's a white baby. It ain't going to happen. So let's just get to the bottom line here, okay? They're brown-skinned people. Simple. But then you got the Christians out here that they went, and the Catholics had changed that. They whitewashed the whole thing. And then you got people who are supposed to be getting back to the book, back to the truth. They're still trying to whitewash it. Yeah, maybe you should go home, not only read your Bible, but apply it to your life. So
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Hashem, Yahawashi, Hashem, Rakwak, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the mighty Akim, Wakwathium, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakap coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, we're going to go into what was just said. I'm going to try to watch my wording with it because, obviously, YouTube can be a little unfair. But anyway, continuing on, as I was saying, we're going to be talking about this thing, which this is a very common thing that, I think most people already know the truth of it is. They know the fact of it. But the funny thing about that is that still you have so many people that are willfully blind to it. Alright, so Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. So over here the main thing is that the words of the Lord, they're going to stand, they're going to happen. It's definitively, it's like you can't say, oh well, even though the Lord said he was going to do this, well, it happened this way, or this is a new method, or whatever. Like that is not how it works. It is definitively and exclusively, it has to happen the exact same way that the Lord said it should happen. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's go into that. Isaiah chapter 2 verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. Now, mountain basically is government. So government is the house of the government is the government of the Israelites, or the government of YAHAWASHI. Okay, so it's saying that when the Israelites are in their land, they're going to be established at the top. So they're going to be the number one thing, and then all the other nations are going to be up below it. All right. Continuing on, verse 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So it's saying, many people shall go into, as in like a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, let us go learn and teach from the Israelites. Let's go see, how do we properly live? How are we supposed to have morals? How are we supposed to please Yahawadah? That's basically what is going to happen, because all the other nations are going to look up to the Israelites, okay? Because that's going to be basically the hierarchy, whereas Yahweh, then Yahawashi, then the Israelites, then all the other nations, okay? Now, also teach of his ways. That's basically it. They're going to be following after the way, the law, statutes, commandments of Yahawadah. Anyway, verse 4, and he shall judge among the nation, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Basically, there's not going to be any more wars, okay? Which again, that goes against the prophecy, because we are hearing of wars right now. Like there are active wars going on right now. Russia, Ukraine, Hamas, and that other Palestine. Slovakia. I don't know. I forgot. I think there's more. I think there's Vietnam and China, I think. But yeah, like that's just three off the top of my head that I did remember reading about, where there's war going on, when it said that when the Israelites are established, there's not going to be any more war. But that means that we're not at the end. Okay, so how is it that people are saying that the Israelites are in their thing, when all the prophecy it's not being fulfilled? All right, and also another thing is that, how is it that these people were established in their land through man? Unless people are going to say that America is the Most High, is that what we're going in now? We're gonna say that the so-called white man is God. Like again, but that's the thing, Slaki. That's the thing about Christianity in general, because they have that white image of Jesus, okay, and they have this freaking God complex on them, where they always want to be on top. They always want to be on top, when in actuality they're not on top. And it was prophesied that they were supposed to be serving their younger brother Jacob. Let me get this. Genesis or Romans. Genesis chapter 12. Romans chapter 9. I don't know why. I do know why. Romans chapter 9, verse 10. And not only this, when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, basically the father Jacob and Esau. Verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that called. Basically saying that it's not established by what they did, but it's established because the Lord made predestinated and established them to be a certain way before they were born. It literally says before they were born, or for the children being not yet born. So this was before that they were born. The Lord elected them to do X, Y, and Z. Where it says, verse 12, and it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. Where Esau is the elder and Jacob is the younger. And Slakia. And the thing about this is, again, Edomites are supposed to be serving us, which they will do it in the kingdom of heaven. So yes, this is where you have that thing where things are just not right, and people, they don't know the thing. But at the same time, the counsel of the Lord shall stand. The Lord Yahawadah, he said, his counsel shall stand, and he declared the beginning from the end. He already knew everything. Next, I read this, Lakia, Jeremiah 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And that's the other thing, where they believe a lie. Okay, they're just going along with the whole, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, or I want to take Jacob's position even though I sold it, or I want to take Jacob's position because I just wanted it, or whatnot. All right, being childish, when Esau was the one who gave it up. He gave it up willingly for that morsel of meat. But yeah, Slakia, inherited lies, and as well as change the. Actually, let's get that. Romans chapter 1 verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And basically, who changed the truth of Yahweh to a lie, who changed the truth of Yahawadah being a so-called black man to a so-called white man. The Israelites are now in their land, or this is how to handle things, or this is how the world is supposed to be. Who said all this? Who established all these things? And it's the devil. All right. Now, finally, Romans 1 verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of MANASHAH, for it is the power of Yahweh unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. Basically, it is the power of Yahweh unto salvation, for the salvation of belief. Okay, and we're not ashamed of this gospel. We're not ashamed to be able to, call these people out, even though calling these people out, it has detrimental consequences like cancel culture and all that stuff. Look at Kanye West, who got look at Kanye West, look at all these different people, Kyrie Irving, all right, and I forgot one more person, but whatever, you get the point. All right, so there's more people who, and whenever they talk bad about them, then they always have their, they're always put in a terrible spot or terrible situation. All right, so like that's basically it. Not much to really talk about it. And he said most of it. But with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, YAHAWADAH, double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, about Ball and Shalom.